My name is Angela, and this is my story about my journey with cancer. Today I'll be sharing with you three things: how I discovered a lump in my breast, the diagnosis, and what the doctor recommended as way forward in terms of treatment. In 2017, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. I discovered the lump around June. That was just a few weeks earlier. I remember it was a Friday night and I conducted a self-breast examination. Reason being, I had been feeling a dull pain for quite a while and I couldn't pinpoint what it was. So that fateful night, I discovered the lump. The following morning, I went to a local clinic just near where I stay, and the doctor also confirmed that he could feel a lump. But because he didn't have any testing equipment, he recommended that I go to a larger facility where I could undergo an ultrasound. So on Monday, I booked for an ultrasound. And I remember as the radiographer was conducting the examination, I was asking her, what did she see? What did it look like? And she told me, no, don't worry. It appears to be something like a fibroid in the breast. In medical terms, it's known as fibroadenoma. So with my test results, I went back to the clinic and the doctor said, he confirmed the same, and he said, but we don't keep these things in the body. It's good to have it removed. So he asked me whether I knew a surgeon, and I said yes, because we had a family friend who is a surgeon, and I made an appointment to go and visit him. I went with my sister. I recall he started counseling me and, talking about cancer, saying that nowadays there are treatment options and people live quite long after having been diagnosed. I think he wanted to allay my fears because he knew about my mom passing away from cancer. So we scheduled the surgery and I went in for the procedure. He removed the lump, and a few days later, I went back to him for a review. During this time, he mentioned how the surgery went. He felt that it went well, that they were able to remove the lump, but as standard procedure would have it, the lump would have to be sent off for testing. And that was the longest 3 weeks wait of my life. So the doctor had actually mentioned that the wait would be about 2 weeks. So at the end of 2 weeks, I hadn't heard from his office. I called and I was told that the test results had come, but they had asked for a repeat to be done, and that this was just normal procedure, shouldn't worry, they would give me a call. So at the end of the 3 weeks, they called and said, I need to come in and see the doctor. The test results were back. So I went with my sister again, and the doctor broke the news that unfortunately, test came back positive for breast cancer. One thing stood out for me during that appointment. He mentioned that I would experience various emotions, counseling me once again, saying that I was going to probably experience, the largest being shock at that point in time, receiving this kind of news. I'd also probably experience feelings of anger, why me? Why would I be the one to get cancer? Maybe even experience feelings of resentment. Hopefully have, go through acceptance so that I could forge a way forward. I remember just sitting there as I listened to him. He proceeded to write a request for an MRI for further investigations, and we quickly went and I got that done. I took back the report to him. I can't quite remember, but probably after a couple of days. I read the report. It said that the site where I was operated on didn't look like it was the primary site. They felt that they could see something else along the chest cavity, but further investigations were required to establish this. The doctor had already set up an appointment for me with an oncologist who operated within the same facility that he did. So we took our reports and met with her. She welcomed us warmly, and we proceeded with the appointment, where she asked many questions about our family history. I shared with her about my mom, my aunt, my uncle. I shared with her the reports. She read them, and she asked for even further investigations. Unfortunately, at that time in Kenya, we didn't have a PET scan machine. So many different tests had to be done. She said we needed to establish if the cancer had spread to other parts of my body, and also wanted to know what type of cancer I had. This was the first time I was hearing about different types of cancer. I just thought breast cancer is breast cancer. Apparently there are variations. And she also ordered for a CT scan, further MRIs and a bone scan, and blood work to be done. At the end of the appointment, she made her recommendation for treatment. She said because of family history, we have to be aggressive about the treatment, and I would need to go back for surgery. She recommended that I do a double mastectomy followed up by chemotherapy. So I sat there and listened, and it was all just too much. So from the time I discovered the lump to the time the doctor was telling me about going back for surgery, it was a couple of weeks, about 4 to 5 weeks thereabouts. And it was a lot to take in. Please join me in the next video as I share what happened next.